Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Lucy, Wang'endo, Lucy favorite here. From the last post, the last video, I discussed an overview of how you can process as an internationally trained nurse to get to UK. I discussed specifically about Kenya, because that is where I have an experience, because I'm a Kenyan trained nurse. So this video will be specific about the overview I talked about. This is part 2. Just a disclaimer, I'm not a legal advisor. I'm not an immigration agent. So whatever I'll tell you is my opinion, it's my research, and it's my experience. Whatever I don't know, I'm gonna research and I'll come back to you. There are so many questions coming in still. But for now, I will try to answer the specific question that I was asked by my friend from Kenya. So as I mentioned, the first most important thing you need to do is passport. You need to get a passport. When I was applying for my passport, it was different from nowadays. The one which was basic was 32 pages, which I paid 5,500. For priority, if you want to get your passport within a week, that one you pay an extra amount of money, and we all know that. Nowadays, the basic is 34 pages, which is around 7,500. That is the amount of money you pay for application. This is not the money you end up paying at the end, because you need transport to go for biometrics, and if you want it priority, you also pay an amount of money. For priority, we all know it's not a fixed thing. It depends with the center that you're applying in. Then what I can say is our passports in Kenya, they have expiry date. Mostly they do not expire, but they get filled up depending how frequent you travel, how frequent you use your passport to get out of a country. Whether you're still in Kenya and you move out, you go to Uganda, you use the border, they will stamp that, and you're gonna use a page. Then after I got my passport actually at the start was the old generation. Then when I was about to start my registration, I had to change it to the new generation, because you could not use, they were phasing out the old generation. I had my passport and I kept it for too long. I got my passport in 2017, but I started my process in 2020. So by that time, they had already started saying that you need the new generation. So that's why I changed. And the amount I've talked about, the 5K, I'm talking about the new generation. I'm not even talking about the old generation. Then in the process, I also used transport. I did my biometrics in Embu. It wasn't far away from me, from where I was staying. So it wasn't that much amount of money. The next step I said is, now you have the passport, you need to decide. One, do you want to come? There are three, I'll say there are three routes of you coming to UK. You can come as a worker through the career path. You can come as a student, or you can come as a dependent. It's up to you. You make that decision before you start your process, because this process costs money. I don't want someone to say, oh, I followed this and I lost money, I followed this, I lost money. All the processes cost money. So at this point, I will say I'll focus in with one route, which is the work or career path. So when you've decided you're coming as a nurse, you're not coming to further your studies. So the next step after getting your passport and ensuring that the passport name is correct, that is the name you want, and you have proof that is the legal name that you have. So you go to the next step, which is IELTS registration. As I said, you choose the academic. Don't choose the general. If you choose the general, you have problems. For the academic IELTS, you can either register with British Council or IDP in Kenya. This one I'm talking about in Kenya. So when I was registering, I paid around 15,000. Nowadays, it's over 38,000 Kenyan shillings. The expiry for IELTS is 2 years. Remember, the test centers are very few in Kenya. So if you're not in Nairobi, or even if you're in Nairobi, of course, you're going to use transport. So when you're planning these things, make sure that you have a way of getting your way to the test center or wherever you want to go, to whichever office you want to go to. Then, after I booked the test, that is when now I went ahead. I had already decided where I'm gonna get my training from. Some people say you can train on YouTube. I don't have experience with that, so I cannot say yes or no. I cannot support that because I don't know much about it. I went through an agency, as I had mentioned. I won't mention the name of the agency here, but I went through the agency for 6 good weeks, and then I did my tests. I sat for my tests. When you're registering for the test, they will tell you to choose which one you want to do. Do you want to do computer-based or do you want to do paper-based? And which test center do you want to go to? Be very careful, because it may seem like it's just a small thing, but if you choose computer-based when you're registering, but you prepare for paper-based, it's gonna be trouble for you. You're gonna struggle. And that is one of the things I would not like someone to go through. I would not like you to stress about that. Then there is also OET. I won't talk about OET. I know people are passing, they are saying that OET is easier than IELTS. I'm not sure. I cannot say out of experience, but that is what I know people are saying. And as I said, OET is more specific for healthcare. So if you know that you want to focus on healthcare, you can do OET. They are both English exams, they are English tests, so go for it. For the UK, if you're focusing on moving to UK as an internationally trained nurse, you need 7.0 overall for, that is the overall grade that you get for IELTS, and at least 6.5 in writing. For OET, you need B overall and at least C in writing. That is what you need to achieve to be able to get to UK. That is what they can consider for the career. That is for the academic part of it. Then, in the middle of your studies, before you do your test, you can start your NMC registration. It is up to you. Remember, the English test has expiry date, which is after 2 years, it's gonna expire. I said passport has expiry dates approximately 10 years for a Kenyan. or until the pages are full. OET and IELTS, they expire after 2 years. For NMC, what you need to do is you need to go online and do the registration. This one you need to be very careful. Don't make a mistake with your name, spelling or anything. Don't leave out anything. Be very careful. Spacing wise as well. Because if it doesn't match with passport, it's gonna be another trouble. So the first thing you do, you go online and open an account. And before you open that account, you're gonna get a part we say self-assessment. You can self-assess yourself to see whether you're eligible for application. Your eligibility as a Kenyan trained nurse, mostly everybody can apply, except those who have done certificate. If you've done diploma, if you've done BSN, you're gonna be eligible. Now, after you create your account, that is where now you will need to pay a fee. It is around 140 pounds for eligibility. When you're paying this amount, they're gonna assess your passport, that is the matching name. They're gonna assess the IELTS now, because it's a process. It's not gonna be that easy. Creation of account is not like just instant. After you submit your it's like expression of interest. You want to join the register in NMC in UK. When you express your interest, it's gonna be taking time. Not that you're gonna apply today and get your registration tomorrow. It will be slowly. Most of the time, they take a minimum of 72 hours. So for you to avoid the stress of waiting, you keep on checking whether it's gone through and all that. That is why I'm advising someone, as you're studying, as you're waiting to sit for your IELTS exam, start your registration. When you get the IELTS results, you need to submit that to NMC as well. The next thing, you also need your transcripts. KMTC. It's not easy. If you studied in KMTC and you've gone out of the country, or you have sought for your transcripts, you understand me. This is how you do it. You go to your campus, fill a form, request them that you need the transcripts, so that they can start sending them to Nairobi. And you will have to go to KMTC Nairobi to get your transcripts. And they will not release your transcripts without money, without paying a certain fee. When I was paying, it was around 1K. I don't know whether it's still the same amount. So you pay. It is a wait game. Let me tell you, you will wait. More so if your campus is slow to send your transcripts, it's a hassle. But if you're lucky, it's gonna be quick. So you need that. Then the other thing that you need, police clearance. I applied for it, it was $10.50, but also I had to travel to Nairobi as well. I had to go to headquarters for my fingerprints, because that was the easiest. And then they sent it online, I downloaded, and that was it. I don't know whether it's still the same, but because we have Huduma centers nowadays, so you can go to Huduma Center and get your transcript. Sorry, you can go to Huduma Center and get your police clearance. But remember, also, there is waiting. These are very crucial steps which are sometimes very discouraging actually when you're going through this, because you really want those documents. So at this point, you have all your documents, you've created your account, you've paid for your eligibility check, and this money is non-refundable. The £140 cannot be refunded if you decide to withdraw. You cannot be refunded that money. Then remember, as I said, when you're creating the account, that is when you're expressing your interest to get registered. When you decided to get into NMC register, you pay the £153. Then after that, when they are assessing your documents, that is when you pay the £140. At this point, you must have passed your IELTS. So what next? The NMC has sent you that email, and you can check online in your account that you are eligible for registration. The next thing is CBT. For CBT, which I said is a theory part of the exam, the registration exam, is you pay £83 for that. All these things, remember, you're doing them in Kenya. At this point, you're doing everything in Kenya. The only people you're in touch with outside the country is NMC, and you're doing it online. Nowadays, they are so swift. They respond very quickly. I may not promise you that it will always be like that, but they are better. They have improved. Then, after you pay for your CBT, you receive an email to book your exam, and you need to select your test center as well. CBT is computer-based. There is no paper-based. CBT, at this point, is 100% about nursing. Whatever you studied in class, that is what you're gonna get. Those are the questions. We have some few questions about UK culture and NMC and all that, but most of the questions are about nursing. If you've passed your CBT, you don't need to click anywhere actually. You don't need to do anything on your NMC account. It's gonna reflect on it. Then now they will allow you to go to the next step. They will ask for verifications. This is for contacts. They are the people you're gonna give, the people you will give as referee. Those are the people they're gonna contact. Sometimes they can contact your college or university. That is the part they call verification. Then after that, now you will be eligible for OSCE. OSCE is the practical part of CPT. It's the practical exam for registration with Nursing and Midwifery Council of UK. OSCE is done in UK. It's advisable to get a job, come to UK and do OSCE. Then, when now you've done your CBT, you've passed and you're eligible for OSCE, start looking for a job. CBT results come out within 2 hours. So start looking for a job. You get employers who are willing to sponsor you. They are willing to, some of them are willing to reimburse what you've used during your process. Keep your receipts as evidence. Keep your emails as evidence. Don't delete them. I will also advise that the email address that you use for British Council registration, use it as well for every other registration. It will make your work easier in case you need a trace, in case you need to follow up anything. That's what I can advise. So up to that point, I think I've mentioned the amount of money I kind of used through the process. Mine could have been higher than the people who processed at the same time with me, because as I said, I had to redo the passport. And also I wasn't living in Nairobi, so most of the things I had to travel to Nairobi as well for all that. So I wish you all the best as you prepare to come to UK or go to another country. For now, I've discussed UK. If you want me to talk about any other country, let me know. And I can research that as well. And maybe you might know my interest in that. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check my website as well. It has some nuggets for those aspiring to come to UK. And also you understand what may be the challenges you may be expecting to face if you're planning to move out of the country. For those who are in any other country apart from Kenya, I guess the process is just the same. The difference is the names and the amount of money, actually. But for NMC, whatever I've mentioned is the same. It's fixed. It's pounds. But the process is the same for every other country. Anybody coming from any other country. Some countries will say it's very hard to get a passport. So I would advise don't start anything until you get your passport. And in the meantime, make sure you're getting your experience, because you need that. The good thing with UK is they're now considering the years of experience that you come with from your country. You don't just come and be a new, like you're not treated as a new graduate. You're treated with the experience that you come with. So that's a good thing. So then part 3 will be, I will talk about when you come to UK in any other route as a dependent, and also as a student. I'll talk about that because someone wants to know how to go about it. And in the meantime, if you want to come as a student and you're considering sponsorship, that is scholarship, you better start now. You better start searching which colleges, which universities are offering scholarships for nursing students. Then we can talk about it. Until next time, part 3 will be on the way. Bye.